Hi, everyone. I'm Dave.
And I'm Jeremy.
Welcome to our Tech Over Coffee podcast. We're so excited and thankful for Chipola College for sponsoring our podcast. We're actually filming from the main campus of Chipola College in Marianna, Florida. And what a great venue to actually record this podcast, Jeremy. So many neat things on campus.
Yes.
From
Interesting
academics.
facts, too, about the location. We don't have heat.
Ooh, I hear it could be haunted.
Something I just learned today, yes. But see, that's, I guess, because of the ghosts, right?
Right.
Ghosts make it colder. No heat.
Yeah.
Explains it all.
And these are friendly vibes, right? We have this positive momentum, just like we have on campus, online with our academic programs and our research. It ties right into these cool topics that we're going to look at today. And these are some neat topics. I mean, and I'm a Pop-Tart fan, just so you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, so we're kind of focusing on the digital realm today, I think. We're having some big moves in cryptocurrency and some other cryptocurrency adjacent products, right? So the advent of digital artwork has been kind of going for a while since like meme stocks, that kind of stuff going off like crazy. So now you've got pieces of digital artwork selling for over like $600,000, I think it was.
So these aren't Pop-Tarts you can eat.
No, it's not Pop Tarts you can eat, but they are pictures of cats that look like Pop Tarts.
Oh, wow.
Flying through the air with
Yeah.
rainbows behind them.
I'm glad that you can't replicate that, right? That's
Right.
a one-time piece
It's
of art.
yeah, so it's all, I think this was done on a website called Foundation, and I believe it's probably using a Ethereum backend. So with the Ethereum blockchain, you can make like scripted transactions possible. And so for this particular item, it's I guess only viewable through this program from that blockchain, so no one else can have it but you, and it's like recreatable. It's, as they call it, a non-fungible token.
So the way to display it would be to have a monitor that you were logged into the Ethereum app or website, and then you could show that token that.
Yeah, right.
that
This piece of digital art that's I guess special in a way. I mean, everyone has seen it, but this guy now owns it.
It makes me smile when I see it. I mean, it
Yeah.
definitely is a happy piece
It's
of
great.
art.
But would you pay $600,000 in possibly Ethereum for this?
No, especially a Pop-Tart you can't eat. I
Yeah.
mean, come on.
Yeah, but considering the fact that Ethereum and Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are way up right now, I mean, it really isn't all that much money. I mean, maybe it was only like $60,000 a little while ago.
That's true,
So,
back in the day.
Yeah,
Which was
right.
what, just last month, right?
Just a few months ago, exactly. I mean,
Right.
we go just a few weeks ago, Tesla buying Bitcoin, right? That was a really big move.
Great
And
segue, yeah.
yeah, and so Bitcoin then was only at like what, $39,000? We were
Only,
talking about it.
yeah.
Yeah, only 39,000, because that's the kind of scale that we're talking
You
about.
still
now.
have that coin you're going to let me borrow, right?
Yeah, I threw it out, and I don't think you caught it.
No. Oh.
And it's because they're really hard to see because they're digital.
Right. Just
So-
algorithms. Just
yeah,
math,
right.
yeah.
So it's that you have to find that like smattering of numbers and letters that are just all across the floor.
From the mining process.
Right. So Tesla's actually ended up now, because of this big price move, Bitcoin has crossed the $50,000 mark now, and that's significant considering it's only been a couple weeks since it was at 30,000, and then only a few months since it was at like 16,
Wasn't it at 6 last year?
somewhere around there.
That's
I mean,
amazing. Think of the money of having a few coins. Wow.
Yeah, and there are people that have many more, right?
Oof.
Specifically, Tesla bought something like 35,000 coins. So that big price raise actually made Tesla more money than they made on cars in 2020.
I think Elon may have thought that would occur. So he definitely is a planner, and he's one who kind of makes prophecy happen because he actually is enabling it. So
Right. Well, because, once Tesla says, hey, we bought a bunch of Bitcoin, they got in before everyone else did on the like corporate scale, and especially in such a large quantity. It only kind of makes sense then that other companies are like, hey, well, maybe we'll do that too. I think Uber has even come out to said that they'll accept Bitcoin, maybe not buy Bitcoin for their like corporate structure, but still accepting Bitcoin is something.
that is. I have to go back to that Pop Tart cat. What was the name on that again?
That's a Nyan Cat. Nyan
Okay.
Cat?
Is it okay if I call it the Pop-Tart cat?
You can call it Pop-Tart Cat.
Yeah. What do you think they developed it? Any idea the language for?
No, that's just like that's an old like GIF. Like it's just like a repeatable image kind of thing.
So nothing fancy on the development side. It was
I
just
don't
more of the
think so.
blockchain with Ethereum. That
Yeah,
made it.
the back end here that's important is the blockchain that's actually like securing the token that represents this picture. It's kind of a weird thing, right? Because like it's a digital art piece, not like a one we'd have on our wall. So like you're kind of securing this piece of data, but I don't know. I don't know what's really going on in the digital art world, to be honest.
I think it probably people do display it like you would a normal traditional piece of art,
Yeah,
just with a monitor or something.
I
And
suppose you could.
yeah, and it's framed like that with that little
Mm-hmm.
gift that we looked at. So
Yeah.
neat stuff. So Elon purchasing a lot of Bitcoin, and
Mm-hmm.
how much was that? Like
That was it was
1.5 billion?
$1.5 billion in Bitcoin.
Yes, that's amazing. So he's made a profit on some outrageous number since
Yeah.
then. This was about a month ago.
It was
Ish.
somewhere around there, early
Yeah.
February,
Okay.
that this occurred. And now we're getting into late February to date us. 2021 we are to
Wow.
really date us.
Yes.
And so it's coming at a time when Bitcoin and cryptocurrency companies are really kind of taking off. I mean, of course, Bitcoin price is going like crazy. And then you have companies like Coinbase announcing that they're going to do an IPO. And that's a pretty big deal in itself because you have like basically what is a cryptocurrency bank. It's like a Bitcoin bank, right? You can buy Bitcoin from them, you can sell Bitcoin to them, and you can store your cryptocurrency there as well. So for them to announce an IPO, and they're even skipping the whole IPO process, they're just going to do a direct listing. So they just go right past that and sell direct to the market.
Yeah, I think was it Slack? There's been a couple companies that have done that recently.
Yeah.
Just direct to the potential buyers out there to the masses. Interesting move that saves them having to give additional cuts to the Wall Street
Yes.
firms that actually want to help lobby and promote. Do you think they're going to do the IPO in the States on Wall Street, or have you heard about
Oh yeah,
that?
I think they're doing it in the U.S. I mean, I think they're a New York-based company, if I'm right. I'm not 100% on that. Probably California, but who knows? The internet does, but not me right now.
Right, we could look that up. But that is great because there has been this period of a few years ago of large companies having IPOs offshore, and it's nice to see the tech companies coming back. So
Right.
that's good.
But to like cut out some of the middlemen too, right? Because
Right.
it's like they already know they're a big company, and it's they're being valued pre-IPO at something like $100 billion.
Wow.
So that's really big.
Wonder what Tesla was valued at. That might have been more than what they were valued at when
I'm
they went
not
public.
sure, but if you think about it, it's a money-based business,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like they make their money from transaction fees. So they're not really, other than the infrastructure that they have already built, like on the like computer side of things, it's not like they're having to run like gold back and forth between some vaults. It's just like numbers in a database. Like there is some insurance liability because of how much money that they have to like hold on to for people, but they have their security in hand. So I think it's a pretty cool move.
Do you think they have many mining affiliates? How do you think they don't really care about where the algorithms come from the
Yeah.
coins? They just provide the process of buying and selling.
Yeah, right. They're basically just like kind of any stock brokerage, right? Like they hold an amount of coins for people to purchase and they put up listings for other people. If you want to sell some coins, well, they just put it on the order book. You still hold your coins. They're just putting out basically an advertisement for you and someone else can buy it and it just transfers straight to them. They do, I think, make deals with some big miners just for like purchasing situations, but to them, it's kind of, it doesn't really matter.
So with Coinbase, you can actually make a purchase and take it.
Yeah.
Whereas something like PayPal, you can make the purchase, but you have to let it reside within
Right.
PayPal.
You have to leave it there. And something interesting, right? Robinhood was like that for a long time too. We've talked about Robinhood recently. And Robinhood does cryptocurrencies as well, and in a similar way that PayPal was doing, where it's kind of like locked up on the back end. But now Robinhood's actually going to open it up pretty soon for cryptocurrency deposits and withdrawals. So you can actually do, much like Coinbase, deposit Bitcoin to Robinhood and sell it there, which is what Coinbase has been doing for the longest time.
I wonder if PayPal has a maybe an older audience. Robinhood's seen the future with Coinbase and seeing that as probably how those maybe who are just entering the trading market, doing it through the crypto pathway, that's where they're comfortable. So maybe Robinhood's seeing that potential, it just has embraced it. Whereas PayPal, maybe that'd be a neat study to see what their their demographics are.
Well,
That could be driving the
it's
difference.
definitely it's a thing. I wonder if maybe it's a. I mean, I think every one of these companies kind of wants to build a cache of coins, right? They want to have a certain number of Bitcoin to be able to first have a lot of money.
So PayPal could be doing it just for the revenue itself,
And
not
that's
really for the service.
That's the thing is that PayPal might just be doing this as a way to like, well, you can buy coins from us, but in the end, you can't take them out because PayPal is buying those coins for themselves. They're just using
Wow.
someone else's money.
That's
And
interesting.
with Coinbase, they're not really doing that because while Coinbase owns an amount of Bitcoin themselves, I imagine, because that's how they take their fees out. When they charge someone in a fee, they don't just like take money from something else. It's like I think 0.25% or 0.15%, something like that fee per transaction. And that's just from whatever currency you're using. So they get some cash, they get some Bitcoin, they get some Ethereum, they get Litecoin, they, whatever coin they're dealing in. With PayPal, they've not been doing it for that long, so they don't actually have a big stash of Bitcoin that they could personally sell themselves at any time. So what they're doing is, I believe, buying it off the market. And that could be part of why this big price raise has occurred, because PayPal has been operating for a little while and having to buy Bitcoin off the market.
Just to provide the service they're now advertising to
Right.
its internal customers.
But because they have it locked up, it can't leave the PayPal ecosystem. And when someone decides, well, I want to sell my Bitcoin, it goes right back into PayPal's hands. And PayPal has a huge stash of cash.
And they probably just charge you a fee, so they're paying
Yes.
themselves.
They get a fee both ways.
Wow, that's a good business model. Not for service, but for making money.
Oh, yes. For PayPal, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
For the consumer, not so much.
Yeah.
But the same thing with Robinhood, maybe. For a while there, maybe they've been locking it all up for themselves and making the transactions on the front end for people, but then keeping the Bitcoin for themselves in that like storage location.
So if Coinbase has a successful IPO with Wall Street in the U.S., possibly on the NASDAQ maybe, I don't know where it would go. That seems like the natural place for it. Do you see any others following in their footsteps?
I think Kraken has actually been working on an IPO for a while now.
You mentioned Kraken a few years ago.
Yeah, I like Kraken. Kraken's one of the other top exchanges in the U.S. It's just they don't have they're a little bit more, I'd say, punk or indie compared to your Coinbase. Coinbase is a lot more Wall Street type. They're big corporate as far as the companies go. It's clean, it functions, but it's not the same Bitcoin rugged individualism that there was in the beginning. With Kraken, though, they're kind of pirates of the high seas, is how they want to kind of seem, right? They don't necessarily bow down to, say, a New York bit license or something like that. They say, oh, maybe we don't need to function in New York. If someone's in New York, well, you'll just figure out how to get our services.
So yeah, that'd be tough to work when you have requirements and regulations when you're an IPO. So that may not work hand in hand with that process.
Well, the thing is that they are going through the process. It's just a matter of where is the interest, how much money do they want to gather, how much are their operating costs, and like who is going to be the first one on the scene and who they're working with. I know that Kraken's been doing it for a while. I think they've been available for purchase, like pre-IPO type stuff, and they did it, I think, through more of a self-funding kind of process where they were trying to get, the people
like some crowdfunding.
Yeah, try to basically crowdfund their IPO, try to get offer shares to people that are already using the service, which isn't, in my opinion, a nice thing, rather than going to some bigwig and saying, hey, I'll let you, have a big chunk if you put me up, rather than just letting the public get their hands in it.
Exciting stuff. Looking at the future of the blockchain and where it can be utilized. These topics are all spot on. They're ones that are valuable for us to look at. And also, you had a band. What was it? Is it Hall & Oates? Who was that duo that you were talking about?
So it's Daft Punk.
Did they do Private Eyes and Sarah Smile?
No, no.
Okay.
They
That
did.
must have been Hall Notes, yeah.
They did a couple other things. Not that one, no.
So what's of interest? Just the digital environment.
Yeah,
music?
so they do electronic music.
Neat.
They're the guys that wear the helmets. You never really
Oh
see 'em.
yes, yeah, no, I have, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
That was their kind of thing. They did music for Tron. They did. I can't think of any particulars because you put me on the spot, but I really like them. They've been around for a long time. I think 28 years going on, and it's just they finally are done.
So it just shows the value of technology when you look at how blockchain could change the internet and how we do business, how we purchase things, make things. Blockchain could be at the kind of the corner of that cornerstone, if you will, and it could lead to Bitcoin opening up other businesses, now trading environments that are public with Coinbase. You look at the art being able to be made through Ethereum and the Pop-Tart cat.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Nyan Cat.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And then how bands have made music with technology.
Yeah.
That's neat. That I still love their song of Private Eyes, and Sarah Smile. So that's
Yeah.
good stuff.
I think One More Time. That's a good one.
Oh, that's the song.
That's the song. It's
Okay.
One
All
More
right.
Time.
Right. Okay.
And then a bunch of music and stuff
Oh, good.
happens.
Good.
Giorgio by Mordor. My name is Giorgio, and all of that kind of stuff.
Good. That's good
That's
stuff.
how the song goes.
That's great.
Everyone knows that one.
That's right. I did put you on the spot, but yeah. So that'll be a lesson learned. And
His
that was,
name is Giovanni Giorgio, but everyone calls him Giorgio.
Cool.
That's it.
Yeah.
And then they go on to some boop boop boops and boops.
Nice. That was a good addition.
Mm-hmm.
So for next week, we're looking at possibly some more on Bitcoin. Maybe
No,
it'll be above 60,000.
We'll always talk about Bitcoin.
Do you see it doing a run possibly above?
Well, I mean, there's talks, right? Like, you have Tesla getting into it, you have big companies getting into it. It could easily push much further. I mean, it's always, who really knows? People say numbers. I don't want to say any numbers, but
But we talked about,
could be very high.
yeah, you look at Berkshire Hathaway and their premium shares, which I don't know, probably around 350,000. I could look it up per share, like for one share. That
Yeah.
if the crypto environment were to follow that with Bitcoin, so you're talking about an increase,
It could easily be
triple, yeah.
$100,000.
Right.
But it's a matter of when it gets to that and how much fluctuations it has between. Even Elon Musk has said recently, it looks a little high to him.
And
Maybe that means he's sold. Who knows?
he's helped with that process. So someday you might be able to purchase a home with a Bitcoin, which would be
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah, even a 3D printed home.
Yes. Wow. Okay.
Mhm.
The vast topics await us for the
Yes,
next session.
Many, many types of things.
Well, great. These topics were exciting. They were very creative, and Jeremy, you never
It's the
cease
world
to
of
amaze.
business technology.
Yes.
It encompasses everything.
Way to deliver. Nice work. All right.
Bye.
Bye.